Hey guys, this is Raghav Nakra and today we are going to do the question search in bitonic array, which is a part of binary search section of interview bit. So let's just first read the problem statement. So what the problem statement says is that we will be given a bitonic sequence of n distinct elements. It is very important to note that all the elements will be distinct here, and what we want to do is we want to find a given element b, and we have to tell whether this element is present in the bitonic sequence or not, and we have to do the whole process in just O of log n time. And what a bitonic sequence is, it is a sequence in which all the numbers are first strictly increasing, and then after a point it is strictly decreasing. That is, first they will increase and then they will decrease, making a hill shape of structure if we plot them on a graph. So let's just look at the constraints. There could be 10 to the power 5 elements. Also, b could be 10 to the power 8. So we don't need to take long here. Also, it is given that there will always be a bitonic point in the array. That is, there will always be a point in between such that all the elements till that point will be increasing, and after that point they will be strictly decreasing. Also, it is important to note that all the elements will be distinct in the array. So let's just look at the examples and to clearly understand the problem statement. So very first example is 3, 9, 10, 20, 17, 5 and 1. So as you can see that elements are strictly increasing till the point 3 to 29, that is from index 0, 1, 2 and 3. All the elements are increasing till the point 3, and after that they are strictly decreasing. 17, 5 and 1. You can see that they are strictly decreasing. Also, we can see that all the elements are distinct here. And if we want to find an element 20, then we can clearly see that it is present at the index 3, considering a zero based indexing. In this very second example, the elements are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 3, 2 and 1. So we can see that all the elements are increasing till the point 10, and after that point they are strictly decreasing. And we want to find the element 30, but the element 30 is not present in this array, so we'll return a -1. Also, the explanation is given here, and we can clearly see that explanation suffices with what I have just said. So now let's just look at the solution. For the solution, we can visualize all of these points plotted on a XY axis, and we can visualize it as a hill kind of structure where all the points are increasing till a certain index, and after that they are strictly decreasing. We can call this very point where the decreasing sequence starts after this point, we can call this point as bitonic point. So the significance of this bitonic point is all the elements before this point and also including this point will be in strictly increasing order, and after this very point all the elements will be in strictly decreasing order. So what we can say is, if we have an array and we have located our bitonic point, let's say it is here, so we can say that all the elements of the array including this point from the very starting point will be in increasing order, and after this point till the very end will be in decreasing order. So now we can simply apply a binary search to find the value in either this half of the array or this half of the array, because we certainly know that either this half or this half is definitely sorted, and we can find the elements in either of the part in just log n time using binary search because they are sorted. Now our only task left is to find this bitonic point, and this bitonic point could also be found in just log n time, and let's see how we can do that. So now in order to find the bitonic point, what we can see is this bitonic point has a certain property, and what the property is that it is greater than both the elements which is on its right and left. So now let's say we do a binary search and we are currently on this index and this is our mid. So what we can see is, if this element is greater than both its element on left and right, we can certainly say that this is the bitonic point which we are looking for, and hence we can stop our binary search right there. But what if it is not the bitonic point? So if it is not the bitonic point, either the left or the right would be greater than this current element. As you can see that this is the bitonic point and it is greater than both of its elements. You can clearly see if we are on this point, on this side of the bitonic array, we would definitely move towards an element which has a greater value than us. If we are on this index, we will move towards the right, and if we are on this index, we will move towards the left. We are basically moving to a place which have a greater value than us, because we for sure know if we are moving towards the greater element from any of the side, we'll definitely reach towards the element which is a bitonic point. So that after locating the bitonic point, we can simply find the element in log n time on each of this side. And we are finding the bitonic point using binary search only, which will again take log n of time. So again, iterating, what we will do is, let's say we are on a element using binary search and this is our middle index, and we see that whether both the elements on its left and right are smaller than it or not. And if they are not, this means that this is not a bitonic point, and then we'll move towards the element having a greater value. Let's say we are on this point, again doing a binary search, we'll move towards a point which has a greater value, because you can see moving towards the index which has greater value will definitely take us to the bitonic point itself. And if once we reach the bitonic point, we can simply find our required element in just log n time. And finding the bitonic point using binary search will again take us log n time. So the time complexity of our solution would be O of log n to find the bitonic point, and again another log n to find, rather O of 2 log n to find whether the current element is present in our left or right side of the bitonic point or not. That is either in this half, which I am right now marking, or this half. And both these cases will take log n time, so the operation would be 2 times log n, but in terms of asymptotic complexity, it would just turn out to be log n only, and hence our total time complexity of the solution would be just log n, and the space complexity of this is O of 1, because we are not taking any extra space and we are doing it in place of the provided array only. So now let's just move to our code and see how we can do it easily in our coding part. So for the code, what I did was, we were given a solve function in which we were provided with an array and the element b which we need to find. Firstly, I stored n as the size of array, and then I have put start and end, which is used for the binary search. And this is the simple procedure of binary search which I have followed, where I have firstly taken mid, and mid I have taken using start minus, in bracket, start minus end whole divided by 2. This is a very nice procedure to follow in binary search cases, because there can be certain instances where we might get an integer flow just by doing start plus end by 2. So in order to be safe, this is a good practice to follow in almost all binary search problem. Here, since n was just 10 to the power 5, we won't have any issue, but in general case, we should follow this process. Now what I did was, I took two variables, 2 left and 2 right, where I will be storing the values of the element which is present just to the left of my current index, and the value of element which is present to just right of my current index. What I did was, I firstly check whether there is an element present to the very left of me in the array or not. This is done by checking whether mid minus 1 is a valid index for my array or not. Similarly, what I did was, to check for an element which is to the right of me, I checked whether mid plus 1 is a valid index in my current array or not. This is done by mid plus, if mid plus 1 is still less than n, I'll take the value array of mid plus 1, otherwise I'll take an integer minimum. Similarly, if mid minus 1 is greater than equal to 0, this means this is a valid index, then I'll take the value array of mid minus 1. otherwise I'll take integer minimum. This is the least value which I can possibly have. This case could be understood like this. If we have an array which is strictly increasing, we can call this array as biatonic 2, because we have a strictly increasing array and very last element of this would be the biatonic point. And why this would be biatonic? Because it would be greater than the element on its left and element on its right. Since there is no element, we would consider minus infinity or int minimum. Just to consider a normal case, we'll consider any value which is so small that it is not present in our array. So we'll consider a minus infinity on our right, and if we take a strictly decreasing array, our very first element of the array would be the biatonic point, because on the left we would have minus infinity and on the right we would have a smaller element than the current present element. So now if we have an element to the left, we'll take the value present on the left, otherwise we will take minus infinity or integer minimum. And similarly for the right, if we have a element present in our array, we will take that element, otherwise we will take minus infinity. Now we will check if our current value is greater than both the elements on the left and right, and if it is so, this would be our biatonic element and we will stop the binary search right here. If this is not the case, we'll check if element on the left is greater than us. If it is, then we'll take our binary search to a smaller area that is to the left of it and search a biatonic point on our left side. If this is not the case, we'll search for the biatonic point towards our right. So now what we are doing is we are finding whether we have an element on the left side of the biatonic point in our array or not. We are giving a range of 0 to answer in our binary search function, which I'll just show in a moment, and we are looking whether we have b present in that array or not. If the value is -1, that is we have not found any instance of this value b in our array, then we'll look for the element in the right side, otherwise we'll return the value. If the value would be -1 in the right side also, -1 would be returned. Otherwise, if the index is found, then that index would be returned by this function solve. So now considering this binary search function, we are sending a start and end in the array, and what we are doing is we are sending the element b which we need to find. Now we are taking n to be the size, which is just a normal thing, and we are storing end in the variable val. We'll see why we are doing this. So now this is again the normal binary search procedure in which the mid is taken using start plus end by 2. And now what we are doing is we are seeing that whether our current element is equal to b, and if it is so, we'll return this index itself. Otherwise we are seeing that if value is double equal to n-1 or not. We have stored end to be the value, and why we are doing so? If our value is double equal to n-1, this means that we are on the side which is to the right of biatonic point. What I mean by this is, if we look at this, we are on the right side of the biatonic point on this half of the array, and here our end would be n-1. At any instance, you can see that if our end is n-1, we would be on the right side of the array. And by doing this, what we can see is, if we are on the right side, we are for sure that the array would be strictly decreasing. And if it is the case, we have to do binary search in other way. And if it is not, that is, if the end is not -1, then it would be strictly increasing, and hence we will do a binary search in a slightly different way. So just in order to combine both of these things, I have maintained just single function. And what I did was, if value is n-1, that is we are on the right side, we'll do a binary search according to the decreasing array. Otherwise we'll do a binary search according to an increasing array, in which we just have a slight change of greater than or less than sign in the whole procedure. and if we have found our element, we would have returned the index from this part itself. And if we have completed our while loop and we still haven't found an index, or we haven't returned from our function, we'll return a -1, which means we have not found any element which has a value b. So this was all for the question search in bitonic array, and it is a classical problem of binary search which teaches us a lot of applications of binary search in just one problem, and it also teaches us how to break down a problem and convert it into a much smaller time complexity than it would normally take us. So anytime we find that we could break down a problem such that our array becomes sorted, or the values given to us can be in a sorted order, it is very beneficial to us, and a method like binary search should always come in our mind